I've purchased the charity shirt. Yes, thank you, Jess, for reminding me of that. Okay, so as I'm sure most of you have seen, me and Phil have decided to put a shirt on Dan and Phil's shop, and all the funds raised from it are going to go to the charity, the Red Cross, which is phandaya. Honestly, like here, I'm talking about charity right now, and you're correcting my grammar. As I was saying, we had this idea a couple of weeks ago, because, you know, obviously what happened was very terrible, but it can be quite inspiring to show how in times where bad things like this happen, how people can come together and do really good things and be supportive. And especially, mainly with Ariana doing the One Love Manchester concert. I mean, I was emotional when I was I don't know if you guys watched the concert when it was on Sunday, but I was like super emotional the whole time. And especially when they just announced that they were going to do it, because, you know, it represents, you know, people coming from around the world to help support the charity. And it just shows how, you know, something like this, attacking a way of life, and then saying, no, you know, we're even more people than before are going to come out. They're going to have a great time. Everyone's going to celebrate. They're going to dance to music and love each other and show what's the best. Me too, and they sang one last time. I know. I was a total mess. So I saw that, and, you know, without being politicians that can directly change the world, you want to feel like how you can at least do something to be more helpful than just tweeting a hashtag or changing a Facebook profile picture these days. So I had this idea a couple of weeks ago, but it turns out it takes a while. There was an idea for a t-shirt that we had a while ago, which was to make a Manchester-themed t-shirt, because obviously, you know, it's the city where the origin of Dan and Phil was. It's where Phil grew up. It's where I went to university, and it's one of the reasons why it affected me, you know, quite emotionally when what happened. So we thought that as we saw these Just Giving pages with all these people raising money to give it to the Red Cross, we thought we'd do it. So why not? People are asking how long it's available until. It's available until this Sunday, just for 1 week only, because we want it to be limited, we want it to be exciting. We're only going to do this once ever now. After this Sunday, never again. That design is just going to be chucked into the fire. So make sure you get it before this Sunday. And yep, it's a good little thing. And a lot of people have been very supportive of it, so thank you to everybody that's got it. Thank you to everybody that was spreading the word. Everybody's been really kind, and it's just these little things that, you know, when I look at the little community that I have on the internet, it just makes it seem very wholesome and nice and supportive, which is good. There were some misunderstandings, like not many, like if there was like 100,000 comments, there were like 5, but just in case there was some confusion, there's nothing wrong with addressing it, and I saw a lot of people politely correcting people, but there's absolutely no worry. So just to clarify, a couple people were like, they obviously didn't know mine and Phil's connection to Manchester, and when they saw that we tweeted it, they were like, that's a bit inappropriate, putting like a silhouette of yourself behind the city, like kind of inserting yourself into the situation. And I'd see why you might think that, but like obviously not. Like this is something that would have been a nice idea for a Dan and Phil themed something anyway, because like I said, Manchester is like the Dan and Phil origin city, and it's where we used to live, so it could have just been a cool piece of Dan and Phil merch anyway, but why not turn it into a charity thing? And I hope you do think that it's a cool Dan and Phil themed shirt, because I do. People were asking who designed it. The city skyline, an illustrator did that, and we got the license to it, but the rest was me. So if you liked it, thanks. So yeah, we asked the Red Cross, obviously, before we did it, and they said it was a great idea, and they've helped us support it, and that's all good. Something that I did say, which is a relevant point to discuss, which is, like, why is this Manchester thing giving money to the Red Cross just after what's happened in Manchester and London, when things like this have happened before and all around the world? And you know what? I agree with that. Western people probably don't support foreign incidents as much as they do. You know, it's definitely an issue that some people are ignorant to the strife happening around the world. obviously it happening in a place that I used to call my hometown, you know, that's what made me feel particularly affected. But that's why the Red Cross is a good charity, because we've done things for like children in need and comic relief and stand up to cancer with the single, and even Product Red with the thing on the gaming channel. But the Red Cross, it's a global charity that are really good. They help refugees in countries like Syria. They help with education and gender equality, making sure that, you know, girls in some countries, they can go to school. Natural disasters and, you know, any kind of incident causing instability all over the world, like the ones happened here. So that's a good point that people make, and that's why I think that the Red Cross... There were some people that were like, Dern and Phil are only doing this to look good, and it's like, come on, you can't be that cynical. Obviously not. But also, something that I think is an important philosophical point that we all have to consider is that altruism as a concept is pretty rubbish. Altruism is the idea that you should do things that help other people and not feel good about it. Like, you should just do it because, and like, you should just do it because, but the idea that you shouldn't feel good about being nice is rubbish. And, you know, it's one of those things that puts too much pressure on people's mental health. You know, if you do nice things for your friends, if you do nice things for your family, if you're a friendly person out about in your public, if you do something to help out charities, then you should feel happy and proud of that. Because, you know, people generally in society, we're way too harsh on ourselves. People are really hostile to each other. People are always trying to bring each other down and find anything to be whatever. So, you know, even if it's holding a door open for somebody, you should just take a moment to think, and you know what? I like that I was nice to another person. So don't let anybody say, don't feel good about that bake sale that you did for whatever reason. So in case there was any confusion, I hope that's clear. Again, if someone didn't know, it makes perfect sense. And thank you to anybody that was correcting it and was polite. Because, you know, you can't blame anybody if they don't know anything. So yeah, and the shirt is available until Sunday, limited only, and then we're going to cut it off and give it to the Red Cross, which is nice. And, you know, I'm sure we could all do more to do good things in the world, but at least it's something.